Coming up on Double Take Sports Talk with the Watts Brothers, we will recap Week 1 of the NFL. Now that it is officially done, we will have our thoughts, our opinions, and our feelings about Week 1. We'll share that with you coming up next on Double Take Sports Talk. All right, this is it. Double Take Sports Talk with the Watts Brothers. Welcome to our podcast with me, Darren Watts. Say hello, Darren Watts, today.
Yo, what's going on, man? What's up?
Not much. I'm here.
Yeah,
You're here. Yeah. We are here.
Yeah. Filling that mug that got the biggest mug probably in the universe, world record.
I don't know about that one. I think there's some bigger ones than that. I think there might be a 48 ounce I know nothing about.
Yeah, I think they'll probably find you dead somewhere in your house.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get pumped with caffeine. I think I got too much.
That sounds about right for all the obvious reasons.
I think I'm
shame.
Too much.
It's a shame.
Zevious, now the coffee. And surprised I haven't eaten a banana yet.
You haven't?
Uh-uh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That can't be good.
No, it's not. Just not feeling it.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah. Whew. All right. Final scores and stats. Stats of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And our final thoughts. And what stood out to us. You ready to do it?
Let's rock it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
All right. Our stats of the game from the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock games. Got it. Daryl, it's yours.
Okay, here we go. Of course, Darren, as mentioned, we're going to take a look at the games played from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We're going to take a look at some stats from September 10th. Of course, that was the weekend opener of the 2017 season. We're going to start this one off with the I was ready to say the Atlanta Braves. Oh, my.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I was.
Because about baseball.
Yes, I am. The Atlanta
You afraid to do it
Falcons.
Again.
Yes, I was. I had to. Okay. All right. The Atlanta Falcons tight end Austin Hooper had 2 catches for 128 yards, including an 88-yard touchdown reception in the Falcons' 23-17 win at Chicago. Hooper's 88-yard touchdown is the longest touchdown catch by a tight end in the season opener in NFL history.
Man, they be keeping precise records. Man. I wonder if they got who wear the biggest size cleats.
Good point. I don't know. They do weather. They keep track of weather records and probably every inch of rain of who makes the best percentage catches in every drop of rain.
Yes.
They probably do all that stuff.
They had already talked about putting little chips in football so they could keep track of how fast the footballs go.
Yep.
I don't know if they did that. That was for next gen stats for the NFL. I don't know if they've done that or not yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So MLB had to keep up with the competition with StatCast.
I think the NFL had to keep up with the Major League. That's why they put the microchip into the football so they can keep track of how fast the balls are going.
It could be true too, but I think it's really good for NFL to keep competition. Well, for the MLB to keep competition with NFL.
Well, there's different ways of doing it too. So yeah, they could be doing that to keep up with them, but there's different ways that they got to do it anyway.
Absolutely. All right, next up, the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm so disappointed.
Is that what you want to say about that?
Absolutely. The longest day in Indianapolis Colts history.
Yes, it was.
After that game, Chuck Pagano got interviewed and said, we got our butts whooped by the 49ers.
That was even more worse.
I'm so upset at that defense. I don't even want to count on them no more. I can't do it. Yes, I said it. I said it. I can't count on them no more.
I know. Coming from you, you wanted that was rooting for the defense.
Yes, I'm not rooting for them no more. First off, they need to make some kind of changes or do better practice. Matter of fact, that would be better. Do better practice. And then on top of that, get rid of Scott Tolzien and put Jacoby Brissett as the starter.
I would have did that in the second half. I don't know what
I would have did that, period. I wouldn't even started Scott Tolzien. You seen what he did last year? You going to put him again as a starter?
Yeah.
That's like doing David Garrard the same way. Not David Garrard. Jamarcus Russell.
How did you jack that up, man? How did you come up with David Garrard over Jamarcus Russell? Jamarcus Russell. I'm done.
I told you I'm not in it right now, man. I'm not in it. I don't know where I came. David Garrard was one of the Jaguars' best quarterbacks.
Yeah, he was.
I guess. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gerald.
No, you're good. I knew you wanted to say something about it. I'm like, let's go ahead. Let's get this off your chest.
Upset about that. Yeah. That's all right. You're going to have your venting moment in a minute.
Oh, you're right. You know it. You know it. Rams quarterback Jermaine Johnson and safety LaMarcus Joyner each had an interception return touchdown, and defensive end Morgan Fox recorded a safety in the team's 46-9 win over Indianapolis.
You know, it makes me curious if those two pick six was a career high in the NFL.
Let me get into this.
Okay.
This is just for like interception, so just hang tight.
Yeah.
The Rams are the first team in NFL history to record 2 interception return touchdowns and a safety in the season opener. The Rams' 2 interception return touchdowns are tied for the most ever in a season opener, and Los Angeles is the first team to accomplish the feat on kickoff weekend since the 2007 Minnesota Vikings when they played the Atlanta Falcons on September 9th, 2007.
Okay, that's just for season opener. I'm curious if it's just a record overall.
Well, apparently it would have been on here if it was, so I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
it would have been on here. But
I'm curious to see who has the career record in pick six in NFL history in a single game.
I guess we have to do our old book.
I don't think it's in that book. I've already
not that one. No, I'm talking about the new one that they come out with.
Yeah,
the ones they're going to come out with. I think they're.
But in the meantime, I have to reference to my own book.
Of course. All right, moving on to one of the most dangerous defense in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh man, yes,
yeah. Led by defensive ends Calais Campbell, I believe it is, with 4 sacks, and Dante Fowler Jr., 1 sack and 53-yard fumble return touchdown, defeated the Houston Texans 29-7 at NRG Stadium. Excuse me, folks. I didn't want to sound dramatic while I was audio recording, so I just had to mute myself so I could just let it all out so I could continue reading. That show felt good.
I guess.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you know this. All right. The Jaguars, who had 10 sacks and a defensive touchdown in the contest, are the second team in NFL history with at least 10 sacks and a defensive touchdown in a season opening game. The Los Angeles Raiders recorded 10 sacks and had a 76-yard interception return touchdown in the team's 31-0 victory against the New York Jets on September 8, 1985. Moving on to this will really also piss me off.
Before you do, right now, from what I'm looking at, is unofficial Blake Bortles.
Oh, wow. Unofficial?
Unofficial.
Wow.
I need to see if anybody else have done this, but Blake Bortles has thrown. Well, this was dated back to last year. Blake Bortles has thrown 11 pick six, and that is the most through a quarterback through their first 3 seasons in the NFL history. So.
Yeah. That's whew.
Yeah.
Unofficial. So let's see about this. Okay. Another one that pissed me off. The Detroit Lions.
Oh, I didn't think you was going to be talking about them.
No, I'm not. But this is another one that just pissed me off.
Huh?
This is just one of the few. Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford passed for 292 yards and 4 touchdowns and a pick with a 113.1 passer rating in the Lions' 35-23 win over Arizona Cardinals. Stafford, who led the Lions from a comeback from a 17 to 15 fourth quarter deficit, has 27 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime since 2011. The most such drives by a quarterback in the NFL over that span. Last year, the Lions won 8 games when trailing in the fourth quarter. Of course, we all remember that feat. The most by a team in a single season in NFL
Wait, whose feat was that?
You don't remember last year when the Lions won 8 games coming back from deficits?
Oh, yes, I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to the Cleveland Browns. Rookie quarterback Deshaun Kaiser passed for 222 yards with a touchdown and rushed for a touchdown against Pittsburgh in his first career start.
That's not bad.
No.
Against Pittsburgh.
No, and then you to only lose by 3? No, that's not bad at all. Against a dangerous defense of Pittsburgh in the AFC North?
Not bad at all.
They better be careful. Cleveland's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's a good start, like I said, to a dangerous team in the division. Yeah. And
then you're gonna have them at home afterwards. Yeah.
That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Kaiser's start marks the 10th consecutive season a rookie quarterback has started on kickoff weekend, the longest streak since at least 1950. Moving on to the opposing side that the Browns lost to, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rookie linebacker T.J. Watt had 2 sacks and an interception in the Steelers' 21-18 win at Cleveland. Watt is the first player to record at least 2 sacks and an interception in an NFL debut on kickoff weekend since sacks became an official stat in 1982. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. That was the boost that they needed for the defense.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly but not least on my end, we are going to the Oakland Raiders. Oakland's kicker, I want to say, is hell, I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I don't blame you.
I can probably say the last name pretty good. Tavecchio. He converted on all 4 of his field goal attempts in the Raiders' 26-16 victory at Tennessee. He connected on 2 52-yard field goals in the contest. And he is the first player in league history to make 2 field goals of at least 50 yards in his NFL debut. He also joins another great, Sebastian Janikowski, as the only players in team history to convert multiple 50-yard field goals in a single game. Who is their special teams coach? Bring them over to the Colts.
Yeah.
That is all I have for the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games that happened in week 1 of the season opener, the 2017 season. Dan, you got any additional stats you want to throw out there real quick?
Actually, I do. I just want to talk about a couple key stats that came in from the Thursday night game, the New England Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
ESPN Stats and Info tweeted out that night after they won, the Kansas City Chiefs won. Alex Smith is 2-0 all-time head-to-head in a regular season matchup against Tom Brady. His first win came at Arrowhead Stadium. He was 20 for 26, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. He had, what am I reading here? 2 sacks for 12 yards, and his passer rating was 144.4.
Beast.
NFL research. I love NFL research.
Incredible.
Love them to death. Yes.
Incredible.
Players with 300 plus passing yards and 4+ touchdowns and no interceptions against the Bill Belichick defense, dating back to 2009. Drew Brees, 18 for 23, 371 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no picks. Only had 1 sack for 4 yards, and his passer rating was 158.3.
Good. Jesus, he almost had a perfect rating.
He did.
I thought it was 153.9.
Nope, 158.3 is the perfect passer rating.
Okay.
And the other player, Alex Smith, Thursday night, 28 for 35, 368 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 148.6 passer rating. And I believe he got, I think, 1 sack also. Don't quote me on that. NFL research also tweeted out 42 points is the most points allowed by a Bill Belichick coach Patriots team. And then lastly but not least, the Kansas City Chiefs are the first AFC team to beat the New England Patriots at home when playing in the whole game. That's Tom Brady. Since the New York Jets in Week 10 of 2006. The New York Jets was the last team to beat, I believe, the New England Patriots when they was at home. And I believe, I don't even think they won the championship that year. I think Pittsburgh did.
What was that? You said September 2006?
Yeah, it was either the Steelers or the Colts.
It was the Colts.
Okay.
That was the Colts one. That's when the Colts won the championship that year.
The Patriots went on and lost to the New York Jets that year. And Tom Brady played that whole game.
And you said that was in September, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's very interesting.
So, there you have it. That's all I have.
All right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Well-fed stats. There are your stats from, of course, week 1 in the NFL. Sorry. I'm in it right now.
I see.
Right. I am. I'm in it. I'm totally in it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Week 2. Week 2. This is going to be a very interesting week here. Also,
yeah,
a couple of games that's going to stand out. So, Darren, you want to go ahead and be ready to rock Week 2 predictions?
All right, let's rock Week 2 predictions. Wow. Yeah, let's rock Week 2 predictions. Let's do this.
All right.
All right. All right, first up, we had the Thursday night game, 8:25 on NFL Network. We had the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Daryl, who do you have in that game?
Oh. Bengals didn't play too good last week. I don't know, Dan. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the Texans.
Agreed.
Go ahead and pick the Texans, man.
Agreed. I'm picking the Texans. Not very confident in Cincinnati. They got shut out by Baltimore last week. Just not confident.
20 to zip. That's
I'm
not good.
confident.
Me neither.
No, it's not.
Me neither.
I'm not confident in that. All right, next game. 1 o'clock. These starts our Sunday games. September 17th, 1 o'clock on CBS. We have the Cleveland Browns going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Daryl, who you have in that game?
Cleveland's looking good. Tampa Bay really haven't shown nothing since, of course, they had a canceled game.
Tampa Bay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this.
Baltimore.
Ooh, this is another AFC North. Oh, crap.
This is another AFC North battle.
Oh, crap. Let's see. I'm going to actually go ahead and actually pick the Ravens.
Smart move. I agree. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens in this game. I think they're going to come up short again, just like how they did in Pittsburgh last week. Well, not in Pittsburgh, but yeah, they did in Pittsburgh. They came up short. I'm looking for them to still come up short, but show some signs of life. So I'm going with Cleveland.
I mean, even though, like I say, Cleveland, they played pretty stellar last week because of the fact that they did actually score 18 points and they did keep up with Pittsburgh. So, they still have some general work to do to actually keep themselves in competition with the AFC.
In competition with the AFC, yep. All right, the next game, 1 o'clock on Fox. We had the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
I got the Bucs.
No doubt. No doubt, and I agree. Tampa Bay. I got the Bucs. All right, next game, also 1 o'clock on Fox. We have, probably it'll be a very interesting game.
Oh, yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going ahead with my main team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers, I agree. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
For all the obvious reasons.
Yep. Next game. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game. 1 o'clock on CBS. We have the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. This is the same team, the New Orleans Saints. This is the exact same team that beat them back in 2009, as into last week's stats. Drew Brees throwing all over their defense, 5 touchdowns, no picks. They are at home.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same result here. Do you believe that New Orleans can win this game with Adrian Peterson? Daryl?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick them too.
I'm taking that risk too. I am picking the New Orleans Saints in this game.
Me too.
Drew Brees have had a habit of picking apart the New England defense, and with the way that they played last week,
they look kind of weak.
So I'm going to pick that chance and go ahead and take the Saints. They got Adrian Peterson in that backfield as long as he's healthy. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
I agree.
All right, next game, 1 o'clock on Fox. We have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
I'm going to be honest. This is another good matchup. I am not going to kid you not when I say that. But I am still going to take my chances. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Me too. Going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are a little bit stronger, although they broke down in the first half last week.
Yeah.
In the second half, they bounced back. Andy Reid made some quick adjustments. He out-coached Bill Belichick, which everybody thought Maurice Jones-Drew was absolutely crazy.
Nuts. I'm like, well, if y'all actually really felt that way, you got to understand. This is people's jobs that they're doing here. So you got to look at this.
Maurice Jones-Drew said that New England's going to get out-coached, and they did. But he did say that the New England running offense was going to outdo Kansas City, and that quite flipped on him. Kansas City actually outran New England, even though a fumble occurred in their running game.
Right.
They still bounce back. So
but they do this for a reason. So
right.
what makes them think that they don't know any better? People think that they're absolutely nuts. It's their job. Right. Y'all just watch it for entertainment.
Right. Y'all not studying these types of things.
Exactly.
Some of them are wrong. Some of them are wrong. A lot of them are wrong. Some of them just study it the wrong way and interpret it their own way. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it just backfires.
Well, based by performance, I should say.
Right. All right. Next game, 1 o'clock on CBS. We have an AFC South battle. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
Said it last week.
Say it again this week.
Jaguars. I said the Jaguars D is only going to cause hell to the AFC South, which is going to include the Titans, the Colts, and the Texans. No different here. I got the Jags.
Agreed. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars also. Tennessee is a rising team, but they will not be able to keep up with that Tom Coughlin defense that he put together in that
not that greedy defense.
Yeah, in that office, he's already making a stamp.
Yep.
Going back to making me going back to 95 when he was coaching.
Absolutely.
Mark Brunell. All right, next game. Also 1 o'clock on Fox. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts. The Cardinals lost last week, and the Colts lost last week. Who has the advantage this week?
No doubt, the Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals.
No doubt. And I'm going with the Cardinals.
Me too.
There's no doubt in my mind on that. Going with them.
No reason.
If they do better in practice this week, and if Chuck Pagano actually sits down and uses his head for a minute and use common sense, put Jacoby Brissett in there and get him to learn the playbook, I believe that they have a shot, not winning, but have a shot at making it a game.
And Jacoby Brissett had already proved that he do have a cannon arm.
He do.
You didn't see that 50-yard bomb he threw to Dante Moncrief last week?
This is the whole ordeal. You got one of the best wide receivers in the game, T.Y. Hilton. You got Jacoby Brissett, who could be able to throw the football. He could throw the football way a lot better than Scott Tolzien. Why is Jacoby Brissett not starting? He needs to get in there and start.
He needs to get in there.
He needs to start.
Y'all traded for him. Y'all got rid of also one of the best receivers. Y'all traded one of your best receivers, the Philip Dorsett. Y'all sent to New England to get Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Start him. And I'm pretty sure they're doing the same thing. I'm pretty sure the New England done started Philip Dorsett already.
I'm sure they have. I didn't get to look at last week's stats.
I didn't either.
I did, but I wasn't paying attention to the wide receivers. But the coach, the Chuck Pagano's going to have to use his head at this point, because right now his job is already on the line, starting out 1-0. 0-1. Yep. His job is already on the line. Yes, so he better use his head.
He better start using his head.
He better start using his head on Scott Tolzien to get better, or go ahead and start Jacoby Brissett. And to me, he should have been to start Jacoby Brissett week 1. Yeah. All right, next game, 1 o'clock on on CBS. We have the Buffalo Bills and the Carolina Panthers. Daryl, you see Christian McCaffrey last week. Phenomenal. That man was unstoppable. He got quick feet, like if he's touching fire. So bear that in mind for your fantasies. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
Nothing has changed, despite the fact that Buffalo did pull out a win last week. That still does not change my thoughts about the Buffalo Bills. I am going with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they only won against their AFC East rival, the New York Jets. Anybody can beat the Jets at this point.
Well, you're exactly right, but especially when they got no quarterback.
But I agree. I got Carolina in this game. Mm-hmm. All right, next game now starts our afternoon games. We start with the 4 or 5 games on CBS. Technically, to me, this is still not a
1 o'clock game, a 4 or 5 game.
This is technically a 1:05 game since it's Eastern time, but this starts our afternoon games. There's 2 of them. We start with the New York Jets and the Oakland Raiders. Daryl, why are you pausing?
I'm writing. The Raiders.
Okay.
I'm writing.
Well, what is taking you so long to come up with that answer?
I was just writing. I already knew who I wanted since I looked at it.
Yep. I got okay. Yeah, I got the Oakland Raiders also. Next game, same time, 4-5 on CBS. We had the Miami Dolphins and the San Diego Chargers. Daryl, but I did it again. The Los Angeles Chargers. Recap of last week, Bill. Who do you have in this game?
I'm going to take a chance on this one. I'm not fully sold on the Chargers yet. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Dolphins.
I'm thinking because this is a game that, considering that Miami didn't play last week due to Hurricane Irma, you got Jay Cutler as a quarterback, you got Phillip Rivers as a quarterback, and you have I think Miami is the stronger defense versus San Diego, Los Angeles.
You got to think about Miami's run offense too.
Right, Jay Ajayi. I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this game. I'm going with the Dolphins in this game. Now, our afternoon games, 4:25 on Fox. We have, we talked about this last week, Daryl. San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. No pausing. Daryl, who do you have in this game?
I got the Seattle Seahawks.
The Seahawks, I agree. Got the Seahawks in this game. No doubt about it. No questions, no introductions, no stats, no nothing. It's plain and simple. The 49ers can't play, won't play, and will not play. Seattle had this game wrapped. Next game, also 4:25 on Fox. We had the Washington Redskins and the Los Angeles Rams. Daryl, although they won against the weak Colts, they are going up against the Washington Redskins. Daryl, who do you have in this game? I know who I got.
The Rams. Well, the Rams have shown that they have a potential of a good defense against a weak team last week. It's more of a challenge. It's more of a challenge now since you got the Washington Redskins. So, like I said, I'm not fully sold on. The only reason why I was sold on the Rams last week was because the Colts was a weaker team. Now, this is a whole different ballgame. I got the Redskins.
I agree. Got the Redskins in this game, no doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think the Rams are going to get what they got to them that they handed the Colts last week. And that's not being biased. That's just a dead-out real talk. That's just real talk. I'm sorry, it's just real talk. Carver have a way of sneaking up on you. Look at the New England Patriots.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And it might just work.
It might. It might. All right, next game. Very interesting.
Yeah, this is very,
Well, it's interesting because it's not on my sheet. I knew I was missing the game. I just didn't know where it went.
Oh,
okay. Yes. All right, next game, 4:25, also on Fox. We have the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Daryl, who you have in this game?
Didn't go from last week. I'm going with them this time. I got the Cowboys.
Agreed. I am going with the Cowboys this week. Why do I not have them on this sheet? That is driving me up a wall. I got to look and see what I did wrong. Okay. All right. Sunday night football, 8:30 on NBC. We have the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. This is a rematch of last year's divisionals or championship game.
Championship game.
It's a rematch of that game. After considering from last year and going into this year, we have seen both Atlanta and Green Bay play. Daryl?
Yeah, I know I said last year that I was going to pick the Packers to actually win that game. They tried their best, but they couldn't prevail against the strong team of the Falcons. So, of course, I'm taking my chances. I'm going with the Birds. I got the Falcons.
I agree. I'm not going to pick Green Bay in this game. I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. So I'm going to take that risk and go ahead and just pick the Atlanta Falcons, the good old birds.
The birds.
And Monday night, Daryl, very interesting game for you, pimp.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about them last week, and we are going to talk about them again. We have the Monday night game, September 18th, 8:30 on ESPN. We have the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. They are in New Jersey. Daryl, you said Detroit wasn't going to win last week. They did. And Stafford let a comeback again. They're going up against the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. is don't know what his injury sustained. What do you have in this game?
I'm going to tell you, just because the Lions won last week, this may be the same against the Giants, but my gut tells me to pick the Lions, and my heart tells me to pick the Giants, so I'm going with the heart. I'm going with the Giants.
Mm-hmm. It's not heart, Daryl. That's shame.
No, that is not shame.
That's shame.
Okay, look. Okay, let's be real here. Just because everybody now is questioning the performance ability of Eli Manning, I don't think he is actually – he's struggling, but he will bounce back. He did it last year.
Okay, if that's the case, here's a question. The Patriots lost their opener. Mm-hmm. Do you doubt the ability of Tom Brady? He has not thrown a touchdown. He has not thrown a pick. Do you question his ability to play just because he lost? Eli Manning lost last week. You didn't pick them to win.
Well, okay. That's fine.
It's shame.
It's not shame.
It's shame.
Eli Manning still has to adjust without Odell Beckham. That was one of his favorite targets. It's a fact, the number one favorite target. Okay. Now, Odell Beckham is not, he didn't play last week. It didn't do him any good. And you got Brandon Marshall, but he is still not adjusted to the team's playbook yet, or the system is at that. So, I believe if Odell Beckham happens to come back on Monday? On Monday. If he happened to come back on Monday.
Here it is. Sorry.
Wow. Anyway.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I still believe that there's a chance that the Giants could still get things together. Even though the Giants didn't make the playoffs last year, but that just shows that they still have a higher – they did make the playoffs last year. Yes, my apologies. They did make the playoffs last year. They just didn't get past – they just didn't get past the wild card. Due to that controversial, them partying and all that on the yacht in Florida and stuff like that. But I still believe if Odell Beckham comes back for that game on Monday, they will have a chance to win this game. I really do. And I'm still sticking with them.
I'm going to have to go with Detroit.
I know.
I'm going to have to go with Detroit. I'm not doubting the ability of Eli Manning and his ability to perform. However, we're talking about a team that has made a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. Mm-hmm. I don't know how the Giants defense is going to be able to hold up against Matt Stafford in the last final minutes. We've seen them on the championship run. They have beaten New England, one of the better teams in the previous years when they have beat them. I just don't see them as that same team. And if the Giants was to pick up this lead, I'm afraid that the Lions are going to come back and win this game. And it has seemed like it snuck up on them. So I am going to stick with Detroit in this game.
I'm trying to look it up, but I got a question. Did the Giants play the Lions last year in any portion of the week?
Let me find out. Give me 1 sec. I'll find out for you. You
'Cause
want to know from last year, 2016?
Yes, last year, 2016. I'm looking through this list now, and I can't seem to find it because I know for a fact. I think they did play them. I just don't know what week it was.
The Lions and the Giants.
Yes, the Lions and the Giants.
They probably didn't play them last year. Now
I thought they did.
Hang on, let me look. I forgot about this. It may not even be on here, but I'm about to find out.
I want to say it was like the second half of the season.
Let's see. The last time that the Lions and the Giants played each other is they did. They played last year, December 18th. The Giants won 17-6.
Exactly. The Lions had won 8 games last year in deficits to come back. I do not see the Lions coming back against the Giants in any deficit to win that game because we both picked the Lions last year to win that game.
You picked the Lions to win last year?
Oh, yeah, we both did. We both did.
Kidding.
Yes, we did. We both picked the Lions because their ability to stay ahead or actually struggle and came back to win the game.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember picking them.
Yeah, we both picked them. I know I did. I picked the Lions because they was unstoppable at that point. They was unstoppable.
That's very interesting. I don't remember picking them.
I do.
I don't. I'm looking now to see, and I don't see it because I don't have the paper. I have to look back and get back with you on that one.
Yeah, get back to me.
Who did we pick?
We both picked. We should have both picked the Giants. Not the Giants, the Lions.
No, we picked the Giants.
Oh, wow.
We picked the Giants.
Are you serious?
I'm looking dead at it. There it is right here. Visual aid. It was where's it at? Where did it go? Yep. Detroit Lions, New York Giants. Yep. Part of my research. You want to take a look at it? It's right here. Where'd it go? Right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Hang on. You see that? Oops. Yeah, right there. Sorry. There you go, right there. We both
picked the Giants.
Yep, we both picked the Giants. See?
Wow.
D and D2. We both picked the Giants. We did not pick the Lions.
Oh, so you're going with Detroit this year.
I'm going with Detroit this year. The reason why I picked the Giants last year because their defense showed a little bit more to me last year.
They showed to prove a little more discipline.
Right.
And this time you just have to question their ability.
I'm not sold on them just yet. I'm not sold on them. I believe that the Lions can come out and pull something out. Not Giants, the Lions can pull something out.
Fair enough.
There you have it. Our predictions for week 2 in the NFL.
All right, here we go. Final thoughts. What stood out to us, Darren? You got something for us?
Alex Smith in that offense and that defense is what stood out to me in week 1, of course. They answered 21 unanswered points against New England, shut them out in the fourth quarter.
You couldn't ask nothing better than that.
That's a great way to
start. That's a great feeling to start off an NFL opening weekend.
That is a great feeling.
Great feeling.
I'm very impressed with Andy Reid and how he outcoached Bill Belichick, how he sat down with Alex Smith and thoroughly explained that defense to him. He had to have done it.
He had to.
Because he found all kind of open holes. They picked the right plays against that defense, and that's what helped them win that game. Protection on the offensive end, so that really helps.
Yep.
So congratulations to Kansas City. It looked like they might just win the AFC West division because ain't nobody else looking like they gonna win it.
I agree. I agree with that. There's a couple things that kind of stood out to me / pissed me off. The first one, of course, is Detroit Lions. I'm kind of upset that Matthew Stafford had really just shut my mouth wide open. That is one thing. But I can look past that because he may not have much brighter games than that. So I'm just going to leave it as that. I'm just going to leave it as that.
Okay.
So the second thing that really caught my attention was Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants.
They let you down, pimp.
They did, and they did. It hasn't official for me yet because it wasn't completely filled at the time since Odell Beckham had got game time decision. He was out for that game. So I'm waiting until they meet up again and Odell Beckham is healthy to see if Cowboys can pull off a win with him in the game. So right now, of course, they let me down. I'm not giving up on the G-Men just yet. So that I kind of expected it when I seen that Odell Beckham was going to be out of the game. Like, they might just win this game. And the Cowboys, they do always find a way to win games, regardless of, if the score was high or the score was low. And, they did it last year against Pittsburgh. That was pretty much a high-score game. And they still found a way to win the game. So, you can never count against that. So,
yeah.
That right there to me there, that's what that. Oh, and not to mention, of course, the Colts and the Rams game. That kind of stood out to me how Wade Phillips got that defense together and really just took them to town.
Yeah.
So I'm not now just because that the Rams defense and the Rams have played against the Colts. I'm not still 100% sold on the Rams just yet. I'm not sold on them just yet.
Right.
That, like I said, it just has to go a few more games, see how the defense plays, and see what they can do. Because Scott Tolzien, he's just straight out garbage for a 7-year man. Just garbage.
He's garbage.
Because both of his pick six came off the out route.
Yep, out route. He didn't throw him in good timing, and he threw it with 2 defenders, I think, and around in the area, so that didn't help anything.
Well, yeah, playing zone in that time, so
right.
It's like, he got to do better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Gore's
he can't target. He make T.Y. Hilton look very bad. So.
He did. Well, of course, T.Y. Hilton made himself look pretty bad too when he lost the football. Yeah. So that played a big role too.
That was one of our games that we disagreed on, and then the New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, we also disagreed on that game. They were the only 2 games that we disagreed on. Other than that, we are both 10-3 to start out the 2017 year.
We still got 2 more games to work with.
We still got 2 more games to work with. This is just an earlier recording because of time constraints. Well, we're 10-3 to start, so that's just an FYI. Had the Giants won, Daryl would have me 1 game out. One last thing before we get out of here, I wanted to share this with everybody. I thought it was very entertaining, and I thought I'd share this with everybody. This is what happened to New England Thursday night.
It was 2-piece. Yeah. Yes, the game of a 2-piece.
Game of 2-piece. That game of 2-piece. Legends tweeted this out after the game. I was very impressed with it, and I had to share it.
Yeah.
That is what the Kansas City Chiefs did to the New England Patriots, especially in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the fourth quarter.
Shut them suckers out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Game of 2-piece. Oh, that would have been more like a 4 combo piece. That was my opinion. But hey.
Chris Childs couldn't get the other 2 in there, so we just left it as the 2-piece.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So that's that.
That's that. All right. Nothing else. We go ahead and wrap this baby up and get up on out of here.
Yep.
All right. That is our full edition of Double Take Sports Talk. If you like what you see, you just give this video a thumbs up. Now, how you feel about today's show, you just comment on the comment section below as usual. We are here. Of course, we're on the social media sites, so Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have any questions for us, just hit us up there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be there, answer in the best way as possible. But until then, I'm Durham. There's on the opposite side.
Yep.
All right, catch up with us on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao. Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Daryl Watts. As many of you know, me and Darren enjoy talking sports and giving out stats, but we also enjoy entertaining while doing it. So with that being said, you can check us out on the social media side and get more involved in our podcast. We're on Twitter at DTST2414, or you like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at the Watch Brothers. We're also on YouTube. Like, share, do what you got to do with that. Once again, we don't mind. Also, we are finally back on the podcast app for audio only purposes for those who enjoy audio only of our podcast. We're also on the blog, feature critical thinking and analysis, and you can check that out at doubletakesportstalk.blogspot.com. Thanks again.